So today we got ourselves a new Godzilla figure for the new Empire. And this is the 2.0 Godzilla with heat ray. And let me tell you something, guys. I am happy as a puppy right now because I have dreamed for this moment for Playmates to reuse this figure with new set of legs and a new molded tail. And guess what we got? My dream came true. So let's start with the accessory that he comes with. And I think I kind of understand that. Oh my God, this looks awesome. It looks amazing. This is something that GBK should have had from the beginning. It made this hard plastic or hard rubber, that's why I say. But yeah, it's much harder than it was in comparison to this one. It's all, you know, rubbery and bendy. I heard that people said that if you keep this on, it just sort of like bends down. And I kind of noticed it because one of the accessories began to bend down a little bit. So I just took it off and just leave it off instead of leaving it on. But for this one, I guess they sort of like made it much harder for this to bend down, since it's, you know, it's hard rubber now. Now this looks kind of awesome because if you put them like this, I'm pretty sure that's like a beam clash. That would have been pretty cool. It's like a beam clash between the two atomic accessories. That's like awesome, really. I think if I had to pick, I think I preferred this version over this one. I think this version did a lot more better, and it's awesome. I love it. It's barely see-through, unlike this one where you can barely see the inside. And unlike that, it has for you to put your little pinky. I'll put it there. But yeah, but even putting this thing is even more harder than the other ones. But enough of this accessory. Let's talk about the figure. It's actually the same model for the heat ray Godzilla figure. The only major difference that they added is this new molded tail and a new set of legs, okay? And it can swivel too, but I'm not gonna bother to. Now, unfortunately, this is the only figure that has the traditional battle damage. And of course, no movement articulation in the head. What's really cool is that they actually reuse the radio tower dorsal plates, which kind of fits well, to be honest, fits well. Another thing that a lot of people were kind of bummed down is that this one does not have the dry brush. Dry brush or no dry brush, dry brush or not, it's still good, all right? It's still good. And I know some people are gonna say, it's not that good. I wish they added the dry brush. But hey, this is what we got. This is what we get. Now, they reuse the head, the body, battle damage, and of course the arms and the radio tower accessory. Radio tower dorsal fins, my bad. The only difference that they actually change are the legs and this new molded tail, which I absolutely love. Articulation, as always. But what's also different is that both of these arms, since the feet is actually new, the arms can go 360. Don't believe me? You can try it once you get it. Mouth opens and closes. Pretty cool. And yeah, it's actually kind of awesome. As a matter of fact, just for a bonus, I'm going to try removing the battle damage. Lift this hand up. There we go. It's the same paint, but I don't mind it. Despite that the ribs are not painted, I just don't care. It is one of the greatest. Playmates, you did a solid favor for everybody, and I love it. And I love you guys. So yeah, as always, start off putting the Godzilla first, smush it in there, and there you go. You got yourself a battle damage figure. The eyes are perfectly balanced, as all things should be. And yeah, there's also some little bendings, but I'm trying to fix them up and line them up as the rest of them. And yes, this figure is awesome. I love it in all its glory. Let's put the accessory on. As I mentioned, you gotta jam this sucker really hard. And there you go. Now he's all in his glory with this atomic accessory that they added. As I mentioned before, I love it. I really do. I love this 2.0 heat ray. Hopefully they might try to make another one of these, but make it more like translucent, like eyes glowing 100% blue with a white dot in the middle. Like make it like sort of like translucent head and then have its eyes blue and its mouth alongside with the legs and the tail. That would be pretty cool. We would love to see like the accessory of Godzilla with atomic pulse or nuclear pulse. That's what they say. But yeah, I kind of like it. I absolutely love this one over the GBK one. And I absolutely love it. I just really love this shit. Now I want to do a comparison between the GBK toy lines of Godzilla Heat Ray and this version. So we're going to start off with everyone's lovable favorite, the 1.0 Godzilla with Heat Ray, which is the one with the translucent dorsal plate and, of course, the different mold legs and the flat tail. Now, the major difference between the two is that the legs are changed and the dorsals are changed and the tails are changed. One thing that I noticed of the 2.0 and the 1.0 Heat Ray is that their size are different. Because if you put them face to face, you might be thinking they're evenly matched. Like they're evenly sized, they're as the same height as always. But when you compare the feet, if you compare them, you know, like this right here, I'm just going to try to, hold on, let me just try to make it a little bit higher so that you can see the feet. If I put them together, the feet, you'll notice that the feet of the 2.0 Godzilla is actually much smaller, whereas the 1.0 is much more larger and bulkier. Because, you know, the claws, for example, the claws, if you notice from the toe claws, the toe claw is like, I don't know, like a 1.5 inch touching the ground, whereas the 2.0's claws touch to the ground. Like, you can literally notice that right here. Like, the toe claw doesn't touch, whereas this one does. That's like a really interesting difference between the two figures. It's very noticeable, too. But I guess it's like a probably around a 6.5 or 6 point, I don't know, like maybe like an 8 or 9. I don't know. But they're on the same height. Doesn't matter. The only major difference between them is the tails. Is that the tail, he drags in the 1.0. Everybody kind of like confused at why his tail is dragging. Whereas this one is all up. This drags his tail upward. And that's something that kind of took me by surprise when I first got it. And of course, the dorsals are different, translucent and non-translucent. Tail dragging, tail curved upright. The feet are different. Head design are the same, as well as the arms, but with different accessories. As always, I actually kind of, you know what? I just kind of prefer both of them. Both of them stand out pretty good. I actually kind of like the first one better, but I think the 2.0 does it a little better in favor, despite the fact that the toe claws are touching the floor. But hey, who cares? You can pick which is your favorite. Now I want to try another comparison, and that is, of course, the retooled supercharged Godzilla figure. And this is the same one from retooled head, the left arm, and the legs, including the worst tail design of all time. But it was all right. So doing a comparison between the two, I think both of them, I mean, he's on crouching pose, like he's running. The only major difference is the head is being a little bit too long. And I think, I don't know, I think he's much taller than this one. But doing a comparison between the two is very important. I'm still not a fan of this. I actually kind of wish they could have like trimmed it down a little bit. Like maybe just like I said, I kind of wish they retooled. Like if they're gonna bring back the supercharged Godzilla, please, for the love of God, Playmates, trim the head down probably around over here. Just over here. Just at this spot right here. Just make it straight forward instead of it like curving the other way, direct, looking at, at the right side. Just trim it like only like about here. The head. Just trim the head right about here. That's it. Just make them look face forward up instead of facing the right side. And of course, the tail, as I mentioned in my review, back in the previous review that I mentioned, it's not the greatest, but at least, it is all right. The legs I kind of like. As I mentioned, I love the legs that they added and this new accessory arm. The only downside that I had is the head design and the tail design. But hopefully, if Playmates could re-release this figure or retool it with a new head design and a new tail design, or even better, just reuse the new tail design on the supercharged Godzilla figure. Like, if they're going to bring this back, they should add this in this one. So we don't want to see like them reusing the same model from the, we don't want to see this version again because how short the tail is. Now, comparison, I think the 2.0 tail is much more better than the supercharged version. But like I said, I kind of wish Playmates could bring back the supercharged Godzilla tail by reusing the same legs and the left arm. The only thing that I want them to change is the head. Make a new one, but shorten the head down a little bit, and then the curved tail. And I think the 2.0 Heat Ray wins this one. So that is it. That's my review of the 2.0 Godzilla with Heat Ray of the new Empire. Now, before I end this video, I want you to let you guys know the reason why I don't call it pre-evolved Godzilla is because it doesn't say anything in the box. I know some of you are going to say, oh, this is before Godzilla evolved. Now, there are videos that are titled of them reviewing this figure, the 2.0 Heat Ray. They kept calling it like the pre-evolved Godzilla. And I'm just here thinking, like, where does it say pre-evolved Godzilla in the box? It doesn't. It just called Godzilla with Heat Ray. And that's it. You don't see a name called pre-evolved Godzilla with Heat Ray because it takes too much space. So choosing the name Godzilla with Heat Ray is much more fitting than pre-evolved Godzilla with Heat Ray. And if I had to pick, I think both Heat Rays stands out good. Well, except for supercharged Godzilla. I mean, the head design is not great, but it's not bad. I just kind of wish the head was kind of like a little shorter. Like, maybe just trim it like only about here, and that's it. You can get a decent Godzilla head design. Hopefully, Playmates could re-release the supercharged Godzilla, but for heaven's sakes, Playmates, give us a new head design. We don't want to see this because it looks ridiculous. And a new tail. A new tail design. Maybe reuse the same model of the 2.0 Godzilla figure. Who knows? Maybe they're watching and maybe they'll consider that a favor. They might accept my request and make it happen someday. But yeah, I am giving the 2.0 Godzilla with Heat Ray a solid 5.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I hope you guys enjoy my review of this figure. If you want to see more of this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to turn on the notification if you want to see more of this. And now the final one will be Scar King. So stay tuned for that, guys, and see you guys later.